Picture this. You're cruising down the interstate, minding your own business, when this absolute beast of a pickup truck glides past you. Chrome everywhere, leather interior you can practically smell through the window. The thing probably has massage seats and a built-in espresso machine. And you're sitting there thinking, that truck costs more than my goddamn apartment. But here is where it gets weird. You pull up next to the driver at the light, and it is just some guy, not a hedge fund manager, not a tech bro with stock options coming out of his ears, just a regular dude who probably works at the same type of job you do. Maybe he makes less than you. Sound familiar? So what the hell is going on here? How are ordinary people driving these rolling mansions while simultaneously complaining that eggs cost too much? My name is Paul, and I spend way too much time thinking about money and the absolutely bonkers decisions people make with it. If you've ever looked at your neighbor $65,000 SUV and wondered if you are missing something, like maybe there is a secret money tree in his backyard, hit that subscribe button, because today we're cracking this whole thing wide open. Here is the thing most people completely miss. Almost nobody is actually affording these payments. Not in any real sense of the word. They're not affording them. They're surviving them. Let me throw some numbers at you that sound made up, but absolutely aren't. The average new car payment in America right now, over $700 a month. And that is the fundy average. That includes the people buying sensible little sedans. Start looking at trucks and SUVs, which, let's be honest, is what everyone's buying. And you are talking $900, $1,000, sometimes $1,200 or more every single month for what? Transportation from point A to point B, something humans have been doing since we figured out horses were faster than walking. But here is where the real mindfuck begins. Remember when car loans were like 3 years, maybe 4 if you were stretching it? Yeah, those days are dead and buried next to flip phones and reasonable housing prices. Today's car loans, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. I've seen lenders offering 5-10-year car loans, which honestly sounds like the opening scene of a financial horror movie. Think about it this way. A 10-year loan on a car means you'll be making payments on that vehicle until it is legally allowed to drink. You'll still be paying for that truck when your kid graduates elementary school. You'll be writing checks for a vehicle that will literally be falling apart before the debt is cleared. But here is the trick, and it is absolutely diabolical in its simplicity. When you spread a $60,000 loan over 8 years instead of 4, the monthly payment drops in half. Suddenly that no way in hell payment becomes, I guess I could swing that. The number sin looks sin manageable. And that is exactly what the dealer wants you to focus on, what they don't want you calculating. The total cost, that same truck financed over 8 years instead of 4 costs you an extra $15,000 or more just for the privilege of a lower monthly payment. That is literally throwing 15 grand into a bonfire because you didn't want to do basic math. But wait, it gets worse. Let me paint you a picture of how this actually plays out in real life. Some guy, let's call him Dave, buys a $55,000 truck with a 7-year loan. He is feeling great. Payments are $800 a month, which hurts, but he is making it work. He eats ramen for lunch, cancels his gym membership, whatever. Dave's managing 3 years in. Dave's getting antsy. The truck isn't shiny anymore. There is a newer model with fancier features. He walks into the dealership thinking he'll upgrade. Here is the problem. Dave still owes $38,000 on that truck, but the truck is only worth $28,000 now. Cars depreciate like they're trying to set a world record. Dave is what we call underwater. He owes more than the thing is worth. So what does Dave do? The smart thing would be walking away, but Dave doesn't want to write a $10,000 check just to break even. So the dealer offers him a solution. They'll roll that $10,000 of negative equity into a new loan for an even more expensive truck. Now Dave owes $10,000 for a truck he doesn't own anymore, plus $60,000 for the new one. his payments are higher, his debt is deeper, and in 3 years, the whole cycle repeats. This is financial quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. And the dealers, they absolutely love it. They've created customers for life. Dave can't escape. He is a captive audience now. But here's where the story gets really interesting, because the money stuff is only half the equation. The automotive industry has spent billions set of dollars figuring out exactly how to hack your brain. They're not selling you transportation. They're selling you an identity. That truck commercial with the rugged guy climbing mountains, it is not about the truck. It is about making you feel like you're the kind of person who could climb mountains, even though the most adventurous thing you do is park on grass at your kid's soccer game. Your vehicle has become a statement about who you are: successful, hardworking, reliable, a provider. And if you're not driving something impressive, well, what does that say about you? This is some seriously manipulative shit, and it works sunbow beautifully, because once the truck becomes part of your identity, you'll do almost anything to keep it. You'll restructure your entire life around that payment. You'll sacrifice things that actually matter: retirement savings, vacations, financial security, for a depreciating asset that will be worth practically nothing in a decade. I call this automotive Stockholm syndrome. You fall in love with the thing that is holding you hostage. Okay, so someone making that $800 truck payment every month, that is rough but survivable, right? Wrong, because that $800 is just the beginning. Insurance on a $60,000 truck, easily $250 a month, probably more. That is another $3,000 a year just for the privilege of legally driving the thing. Fuel. These trucks get like 15 miles per gallon in real world driving. With gas prices bouncing between $3 and $5, you are looking at $350, negative $400 a month just to keep the tank full. More if you've got a real commute. Maintenance. Modern trucks are rolling computers with engines attached. A brake job runs $800 to $1,200. Transmission problems, $5,000 minimum. Something serious goes wrong with the engine and you're staring at a 5-figure repair bill. Let me run the real math here, because this is where it gets absolutely savage. A $55,000 truck over 7 years at 6% interest, $67,000 total loan payments. Insurance over 7 years, $21,000. Fuel over 7 years, $29,000. Maintenance and repairs, $15,000 conservatively. Then total cost over $130,000. Asterisk. And at the end of those 7 years, that truck is worth maybe $15,000. If you are lucky, you just paid $130,000 for the privilege of driving a vehicle that is now worth 15 grand. That is not transportation. That is Sunday wealth destruction with cup holders and heated seats. So how are people actually making this work day to day? They're gutting everything else in their lives. I've seen people move into smaller apartments specifically to afford their truck payment. Grown adults staying with roommates well into their 30s because they need that $70,000 F negative 150. People eating cereal for dinner every night while sitting in leather seats on their commute. Skipping vacations for years, putting off having kids, raiding their 401k for down payments, literally stealing from their future selves to fund their current car addiction. Some folks are working second jobs specifically to cover their vehicle costs. They'll drive for Uber on weekends using their expensive truck to earn money to pay for their expensive truck. It is like some kind of automotive indentured servitude. The credit card shuffle. Don't even get me started. People putting gas, maintenance, and insurance on high interest credit cards just to free up cash for the loan payment. That is like using a blowtorch to light a candle. Technically works, but probably not the smartest approach. Here is what really keeps me up at night. That same $800 monthly payment invested in a basic index fund earning 8% annually. You have over $70,000 after 7 years. Not only would you have avoided the financial crater that is truck ownership, you'd have actually sown built wealth instead of vaporizing it. After 15 years of those investments instead of truck payments, you are looking at nearly $200,000 every time someone signs that loan document. They're not just buying a truck, they're choosing the truck over financial freedom. They're choosing chrome running boards over their kids' college fund. They're choosing a heated steering wheel over their own retirement. So here is the truth you came here for. That guy in the shiny truck, he is not affording it. He is drowning in it. He is stretched to his absolute limit, juggling payments, eating garbage, and probably lying awake at 3 a.m. wondering how the hell he got here. The system isn't designed to help you afford a truck. It is designed to make unaffordable things centésime affordable just long enough for you to sign the paperwork. Extended terms, emotional manipulation, rolling negative equity is all one big trap dressed up with leather seats and a chrome grille. The next time you see someone rolling by in a vehicle that costs more than some people's houses, remember this: there is a very good chance they're sacrificing their entire financial future for that thing, and maybe, just maybe, your reliable, paid off, boring ass car in the driveway is the smartest financial decision you ever made. You're not falling behind, they're just falling for it.